Want to grow on TikTok? Join our agency for support with expert mentoring, stream protection, and audience growth. It's time to level up. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to join today.
Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Fred of Fred Talks Fight, and this is a turn for the books. Fred, interviewing yourself, being an esteemed interviewer as you are on the scene, but we've just come off the heels of AnEsonGib defeating Slim Albaher. I want to get your immediate take on that fight. It was Misfits' debut for him. He's coming to destroy the scene. Did he do that by taking out one of the best?
I don't know about destroy a scene, but on Gibbs' performance, I thought it was very good. I thought it was very calculated. His game plan was done to a T. He obviously is a shorter fighter, a lot shorter than Slim, to be fair, when they were facing off. What he did do is he worked very, very hard in the clinch, kind of smothering Slim's shots, working very hard, hitting Slim plenty of times on the side of the head. A few made the back of the head, but the majority of them were on the side. And then obviously the body shots from Gibb as well. Yeah, Gibb, his game plan was done to a T, and yeah, credit to whoever came up with the game plan, and yeah, to Gibb as well. It was perfect.
In the week, a lot of the conversation was surrounding KSI and Gibb and whether, first of all, the beef between the two of them was real, but maybe the potential that they might fight in the future. They did have to have a share of press conference with each other. They addressed as well whether they tag. They shut that down, but KSI did have to admit that Gibb was one of the best in the scene behind himself. Would you agree with that?
I agree that Gibb is one of the best in the scene. Yes, I think so. I mean, he proved it today. I mean, before the fight, everyone knew that Gibb was one of the best in the scene. I think Gibb just cemented that today by beating one of the best in the scene in Slim.
King Kenny, this was a fight that was up for contention in terms of who'd win. A 50-50 fight in some form, but for Salt Papi, it wasn't for him, and it was a brutal stoppage. Was there an elbow for your eye in that fight?
Well, I haven't actually watched that fight back yet. I know, as media, we don't really get to watch many of the fights, unless there's the TV in the media room, which it wasn't today, which made everyone's job very, very difficult. Luckily, I did watch the Gibb and Slim fight, and I kind of poked my head out around the corner. It's about a 5-minute walk from our media room to the actual ring area where you can see it. And so I saw like the last round of most of the fights. Unfortunately, I didn't see the King Kenny and Salt Papi one. I've seen a few pictures, whatever, and hopefully King Kenny's okay. I know it was a nasty knockout.
Going back to the main event then, for Gibb, he marches on forward. Who would you like to see him in the ring with next?
I know it's a difficult one because I know the clickbait question is, oh, we can get KSI versus Gibb, but in the reality, KSI fights, well, KSI's quite big now. KSI's about 200 pounds right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's the way he's at right now. And he'll fight at 185 or 180, depending on who the opponent is. I mean, KSI can make 175 as a push. I think he fought Face Temper at 175. He fought Joe Weller at 170, but that was back in 2018. The year is 2024, so 6 years ago. And Gibb likes away at 168. It'll probably go down to 165 in his next fight, so that fight won't happen as much as us reporters love to push it, push the narrative. Yeah, that fight won't be next for Gibb. But I guess you got to look elsewhere. A few ex-UFC fighters might be quite cool. Off the top of my head, I can't think of many. Gibb versus... It's difficult because he's one of the biggest stars in the scene now, one of the bigger stars, aside just under kind of KSI in the power rankings.
Well, that King Kenny fight has gone up and smoked the Kingpin tournament final, right?
Yeah, if King Kenny won tonight, then I'll be saying King Kenny. I think Salt Papi, but I can understand why Gibb at the Salt Papi won't be made yet. I guess Salt Papi's had 2 losses, back-to-back losses. But then again, after seeing his knockout, and apparently Salt Papi's back. I would love to see Salt Papi versus Gibb, but I reckon Salt Papi needs one more big win, and then he can get that big Gibb fight. Or unless Misfits just chuck a bunch of money at Gibb, and then Gibb will probably take it. But yeah, I think the Salt Papi one is most likely, but Salt Papi needs one more big win before he steps in the ring with Gibb. Just so he can fight him right now. His skill-based is perfect, but in terms of, not deserving the fight, but in terms of the clout level, even though I hate the word clout, but in terms of clout level and having a massive name, I think Salt Papi needs one more big win, and then is even with Gibb, and that'd be a fight I want to see. But yeah, the UFC fighter route you could go down, or fighting one of maybe doing the... Well, everyone says Jake Paul rematch. That can never happen. Jake Paul fought at 220. Gibb was 168, so that's definitely off the cards. Maybe an Anderson Silva. I was with Anderson last week. Oh no, week and a half ago in Dallas. He says he's got a fight coming up in boxing. Gibb versus Anderson Silva could be quite good as well.
I have a final question for you, Fred. And we talked about people being at the top of the scene with Gibb and KSI having to, I guess, admit that in the press conference, post-fight press conference. You're really owning the Misfit scene right now. It's been some meteoric rise from you from the Zoom days all the way up to here. Very much number one in the scene, aren't you, Fred?
Well, I don't know about number one. There's quite a lot of other good channels. SecondsOut's a fantastic channel with Ames as a reporter. You've got Jonathan Nagyoff from Pro Boxing Fans as well, doing a few numbers. I mean, and Charlie Parsons as well, Stomping Ground, DAZN, Misfits Boxing. I mean, it's not easy at all. I think it's very, very even. And then Predators Fighting, just up and coming, kind of trying to push up as well. So it's all to play for, really. But I try and do my best, try and work as hard as you can. I think one of the edges I might have on people is I'll make sure I turn around the interviews really, really quickly. I do the interview, then 10 minutes later, it's up online. I try to make sure I do that. Everyone else does that, so it's almost like a big race. It's like a 100-meter sprint, and now the evening's nearly done. My watch doesn't even work. Can't tell the time. It's probably about 1 a.m. our time, and yeah, it's nearly done now. But yeah, everyone else is doing absolutely amazing. They all cover the pro boxing stuff, which I'm quite jealous of. So I'm still a massive pro boxing fan. There's lots of people who don't think I am, but I still do tune in for it. But I just can't cover the pro boxing as much just because you don't want to mess with the algorithm on YouTube. So if I'm doing a bunch of influencer content, even I don't like the word influencer that much. Okay, a bunch of crossover boxing content, and then you interview an upcoming professional boxer who isn't on Misfits, and you interview that like 10 upcoming professional boxers, flyweight, whatever, heavyweight, middleweight. Then it'll clash the audience, and then people might start to subscribe, or the YouTube algorithm might start moving your videos up and down. So yeah, I'll stick to the crossover boxing side of things, but yeah, I still do love the pro stuff.
I'm sure you do, and I know you do love the pro boxing stuff. You're a pro boxing fan, but not a pro boxing fan. Shout out to John there. But number one for me, you are Fred in the scene. So it's been good to see you do your thing and watch it from afar. But thank you so much for speaking to SecondsOut, Fred, and I'll catch you on the next fight week.
Hence, do you guys still have the Marvel intro or outro?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Okay, hence the Marvel Deadpool outro.